So I'm a few minutes late this morning, but good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. There I am, all congested again. Hey, the reason I'm late is because I can't get the lighting right in my studio. I need to get a new light up there because it keeps making lines. I am not a tech person, but here's the good news. It did not create tech stress for me today. I just let it go. Let it go, let it go. That's what I did. Good morning. So I'm surrounded by puppies again. I love that about it's like I sit down on this couch and the door opens and there's like a parade of animals coming through the door. Oops. But unfortunately I didn't bring any place to set my coffee cup except maybe on my computer. Maybe not the best idea, huh? Oh, no, not the best idea. Oh, sorry, I was just getting comfortable. So, what is today? So, what is today is it's like almost Christmas, right? And I saw something on the internet that sounded interesting that I wanted to buy. Didn't really need it, just knew that it would be a cool thing to have, not for me, but for someone else. And I went to go buy it because the price was right and it was out of stock. So I looked for another one just like it, see if I could find a similar price because the price was so good. And I found one and I clicked on it to buy it and it was out of stock. And I'm seriously, that went on like 5 times. Don't you think when an item is out of stock, it should just say out of stock so you don't waste all your time trying to buy it? That's tech stress to me. How to eliminate tech stress. Today is National Sangria Day. So make yourself like a big pitcher of that famous, you can buy it already made, but it's really fun to make sangria if you like fruit. Look up a recipe or make up your own, but it's basically wine and fruit juice and a whole bunch of fruit. And it's this kind of sweet, tangy, delicious, alcoholic adult beverage, sangria day. Also, I'm sorry I keep sniffing. That's rude, I know. I'm going to try and stop that. It'll be gone in an hour. And I sleep with the humidifier, so it's not whatever. Anyway, it is also National Solidarity Day, started by the UN years ago. The idea was to recognize that we are strong when we are together and diverse, and we are all of that. But it's also designed to eradicate poverty, and we're not doing a really good job on that one. Yeah. What else? Oh, in 1904, the Mount Wilson Observatory was founded in California. And I mention it because I've been there. It's really cool up there. Take a great windy roads up, beautiful, nice hike. I particularly remember it because it was the site of my first real rattlesnake sighting. Seriously, hiking along to go up to the observatory. The grounds were beautiful. We were having a great time. And all of a sudden I hear this. I mean, it's an unmistakable sound. I can't do it because I don't have a rattle. And besides, my nose is stuffed. So yeah, it was pretty scary. Nope, it didn't bite anybody. It didn't get us. We all got out of the way in time because we heard it in time. But isn't that funny how that sticks out? I mean, that seriously has to be, I'm going to say 30 years ago. But I can hear the sound as if it was yesterday. Good morning. Pam is having tech stress. Yeah. You know what? It's the time of year for tech stress. I actually have an appointment tomorrow at the Genius Bar with this little thing I'm using here because the keyboard is so insane. I type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it comes out A, B, C, F, G, D. I mean, it's like, really? Really? This keyboard has a life of its own. But thank God for coffee, because this morning's good mood is sponsored by coffee. What else? Let's see what's on my list of things to talk about. There was a suggestion that I have dancing bears on the show today, but I have no dancing bears for you. I'm very sorry. Oh, it's Mud Day. And I thought Mud Day. Wait, what is Mud Day? So Mud Day is named for the doctor who took care of John Wilkes Booth's leg after he shot President Lincoln and ran away. He took care of his leg. He like did surgery on him or whatever, and I guess put him and his cohorts up for the night, and then made up a story and didn't tell the authorities for 24 hours. And I mean, like, it was a whole big deal. And of course, his name was Mud, and he was dragged through the mud. And there are those who believe that the whole saying about his name is Mud or drag him through the mud came out of this. But I checked, and that phrase is from way before this. So I don't know why we make a big deal about mud, but I did with you because they did with me. Seems fair. Oh, in 1699, the then Russian Tsar, who I believe was Peter the Great, decreed that for the Russian people, New Year's Day would be moved from September 1st to January 1st. I don't recall the Russians using a separate calendar. So I'm a little confused by how that could happen. But hey, that's called power, my friends. When you have power, you can do a lot of pretty amazing things for good or evil. And changing New Year's might be one of those things, I guess. What else here? Oh, I thought this was awesome. In 1820, in Missouri, so if you're in Missouri, hats off to you. In 1820, the state put a bachelor tax on men who were not married between the ages of 21 and 50. They charged them $1. Now, $1 wouldn't be much today, but it was pretty much back then. I believe the intention was to get some families going and populate Missouri. But is that funny? A bachelor tax of $1. So that reminds me, I pick things that remind me of something else in my own history. I was in charge of fundraising for my synagogue back then, and we needed to come up with something totally different that we'd never done before. So I had a bachelor auction. Seriously. You know, there's that old joke about, but all mothers are the same way. You know, they shop for a husband for their daughters, right? Well, I went and picked bachelors and used my feminine wiles to convince famous and non-famous bachelors to be in our bachelor auction, but not live. We had some bachelors live, and some I did 8x10 headshots and put them up like they were auction items, put their stats and had auction sheets for them. We raised so much money, it was ridiculous. And then we had a live auction where the guys, and we had guys like literally from age like 16 on up, so that you could bet on and win someone for yourself or someone in your family or a friend. There were guys who we raised thousands of dollars on these guys. It was insane and hilarious. And it wasn't that hard to do. And when I say that hard to do, I mean that hard to convince guys to be in the auction, because single guys, although at first they were hesitant because it was like, what if nobody bids on me? When I convinced them how adorable they were and how the women were going to go crazy, it became like this game to see how much money they could raise. And one of the bachelors, who shall go nameless, but was borderline famous, was so adorable that when we raised, like, I don't know, $3,200 or something by auctioning off a date with him, he then volunteered a second date. So we did it twice with him. That was pretty cool. He said, yeah, he'd go out with 2 women. It would be like The Bachelor. The Bachelor did not exist back then, by the way. I think they stole the idea from me. Yeah, that was pretty cool, though. That auctioning off men. It's raining men. Oh, this was interesting. In 1920, at the age of 17, Bob Hope, yes, Bob Hope, became an American citizen. Did you even know he wasn't American? I mean, this is a guy who was like, as American, it's like, what's American? American is apple pie and mom and the flag and Bob Hope. No, Bob Hope was British, and he became an American citizen. Yeah. When we start closing off our borders and not allowing people into our country, we need to remember that this country didn't start with all Native Americans, although I'm sure it would have been a different kind of place if it had. And speaking of Native Americans, by the way, this is the anniversary of the death of, oh my gosh, I love to say this Shoshone woman's name, Sacagawea. She was the woman who was like the leader of the Lewis and Clark expedition. She was their guide. I'm trying to remember if it was a 50-cent piece or a Sacagawea dollar. Somebody do a fact check for me. I can't remember which it was. But it wasn't a big success because people did not know the story of Sacagawea, but she was pretty awesome. Talk about a warrior. That woman was cool. Here's to you, Sacagawea. We're remembering you all these years later. Oh, it's the anniversary of It's a Wonderful Life. Such a good movie. But in 1990, not that long ago, was the grand, and I can't say opening. I'm going to say it was wow, talk about struggling with a word. It was the first introduction of the first website and server in 1990. Do you believe that this whole technology thing, we have techno stress, but come on, people. It's only been 31 years that we've even been using the internet. It's frustrating for a lot of us. The whole technology thing is, but my gosh, look at what we've gotten out of it. The thing that blows me away, by the way, is sometime in the 90s, I was invited to be part of a research project, a consumer research study. Those things where they call you up and they want your opinion, consumer opinion thing, and they pay you like $50 or $100 and you spend a few hours looking at whatever their product is and giving your opinions. Well, they had us in a room with computers, which a lot of people didn't know how to use to begin with. And then they had us trying out this thing. I'm pretty sure they called it the World Wide Web. Didn't make any sense to me. I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of, ever in the history of ever. It didn't make any sense. I didn't understand what they were trying to do with it. What was the point? And it was so confusing. And it was my first real experience, I think, with techno stress. And I'm embarrassed and and I can't help but laugh when I remember that when I filled out that's an ear, you see, because Gloria is sitting here with me. See her? Um, yeah, I'm one of the people who said, yeah, why would we want this thing? And I voted stupid on the web. Talk about feeling stupid now. Okay, tomorrow is the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year in the Western Hemisphere. So if you have plans for tomorrow, start them early because you don't have a whole lot of time. That's my message to you for today. Oh, sorry. I didn't even realize there was a dog on the other side, too. I am surrounded by puppies everywhere. Puppies in my lap, on my. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. I don't know if you can see them. I just kicked him off when I did that. Anyway, may you be surrounded by puppy love today. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have some sangria. Remember, tomorrow is solstice, so plan ahead. A sip and a smile from Sandye on Sunday. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.